Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, December 10, 2025. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the development of the Cygnus Lakespen Industrial Park will add value and dimension to the country's logistics aspiration. Dr. Holness participated in the groundbreaking for the 55-acre development on Tuesday, of which 46.4 acres are saleable and offers 34 industrial serviced lots. He says the $15 million investment supports other developments taking place close by, such as the Caymanas Special Economic Zone and the Raintree Commercial Complex.
What is going to happen very soon is that this corridor of the Mandela Highway, and we already have several logistics operations in this area, including a farm, along with the development of the Bernard Lodge new area. All of this area will become the logistics node that supports the port.
Dr. Holness has commended the private sector investment and called for more financial innovations.
We need more financial intermediaries. We need more entrepreneurs. We need more people who understand how to mobilize capital. 90% of the time, it is not that Jamaica does not have capital. 90% of the time is that we don't have the entrepreneurs to develop the projects, to think at scale, to interface with government and regulations, to bring overseas support, to identify markets and play in world-class situations.
The government is prioritizing roof repairs in worst affected areas through collaboration with the Jamaica Defence Force and trainees from the Hart NSTA Trust. Information Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says this was a priority focus for Cabinet during its meeting on Monday.
In addition to that, you would have heard that there are delegations coming in from various countries that will be helping in that effort. So we have teams coming from Guyana, from Ghana, from Ethiopia, and also from Rwanda. And all those teams will be working to repair roofs. They'll be doing so in conjunction with the JDF and also with the Hart NSTA Trust.
Minister Morris-Dixon says the teams have been assigned to designated zones: Guyana to St. Elizabeth, Rwanda to St. James, and Ethiopia to Trelawney. A 26-member engineering contingent from the Guyana Defence Force commenced roof repairs in Westmoreland yesterday. The Information Minister emphasizes that the JDF will only be repairing roofs where the building is structurally sound and that the Ministry of Energy will be looking at electricity wiring for houses. She also indicates that the government is looking to engage private companies in the rebuilding process.
And so JDF will be meeting with private construction firms to be able to have that happen. I know the NWA and the Prime Minister will be participating in a meeting next week so that we can have as many persons supporting this effort to rebuild in the affected areas.
Minister Morris-Dixon was speaking earlier today at the weekly post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. All ministries, departments and agencies engaging in procurement are now required to publish emergency contract award notices within 1 month of the date of award. This requirement became effective on November 12, 2025. The details were outlined in a release on Tuesday by the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. According to the release, each emergency contract award notice is required to provide clear and essential details to ensure full public accountability. At a minimum, the published notice must include the name of the contract and contractors, value of the contract and date awarded, along with the reason for their selection, among other criteria. The Ministry of Finance says this new requirement reinforces the government's commitment to transparency, accountability, and public oversight. The aim of the measure is to ensure that Jamaicans are able to see how public funds are spent during emergencies and why fast-track procurement decisions are made. The public will also be able to view what goods, works and/or services are being procured, who is receiving the contracts, and the justification for the award, even in times of crisis. The ministry indicates that all contracts awarded in situations of emergency or extreme urgency must be published on the Government of Jamaica electronic procurement system at gojep.gov.jm. The government is moving to provide direct financial relief to workers in areas affected by the current disaster declaration by allowing employers to make tax-free disaster relief payments under the new Employee Support and Relief Payment Program. Minister of Finance and the Public Service Favour Williams made the announcement in Parliament on Tuesday, revealing that Cabinet has approved amendments to the Income Tax Act to facilitate the payments. Under the program, employers will be permitted to provide tax-exempt disaster relief payments to workers in officially declared disaster zones. The minister says current legislation does not authorize such a program, making the amendment necessary.
Under the proposed regime, disaster relief payments will be recognized as non-taxable only where they are provided strictly for personal recovery, welfare, or household needs, and are not connected in any form to employment services, performance, compensation arrangements, or ongoing remuneration. This ensures that the exemption is narrowly targeted and limited to situations where financial assistance is required to safeguard the welfare of employees facing an abrupt loss of income, housing, or essential goods. The exemption will apply solely to cash payments, thereby avoiding interpretational ambiguity associated with in-kind benefits, allowances, or fringe benefits that may otherwise fall within the statutory definition of emoluments.
The disaster declaration period will run from November 1, 2025 to March 31, 2026, during which time employers may provide tax-free relief payments of up to $200,000. Employers are required to submit all relief payments through their payroll to Tax Administration Jamaica for reporting and compliance.
The prescribed cap is intended to strike a balance between providing meaningful support to affected workers and maintaining the principled structure of the income tax system. The amount is also to minimize revenue risk and ensure that the exemption remains appropriately limited in nature, duration, and fiscal impact.
More than 1,000 fruit and vegetable farmers in Flagaman and surrounding communities of St. Elizabeth are benefiting from the opening of 2 new solar-powered cold storage facilities. Spoilage for the farmers are now being reduced significantly and the life of their produce extended. The facilities are courtesy of the CARICOM AgriBoost project supported by the Government of New Zealand. According to Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining Floyd Green, tomatoes that typically last about 2 weeks can now go up to an additional 20 days with the new facilities.
This investment allows us to fast track our systems around resilience, to increase productivity in a real way, and to introduce the kind of innovation that you farmers have longed for. This AgriBoost program is allowing us to introduce climate smart technology. So not only are we doing cold storage, refrigerated storage, but we are doing storage that does not depend on JPS to store.
In addition to cold storage, the project will deliver 5 modern production greenhouses valued at $64,000 to help farmers stabilize output year-round.
We're going to be targeting women, we're going to be targeting youth, and the idea is that in and out of season, even when we have these weather-related events, Flagaman and St. Elizabeth should always have food.
And finally, the National Hurricane Melissa Cleanup Campaign was launched on Friday in Darlington, Westmoreland. This comes a little over 1 month since the country was struck by the powerful Category 5 storm. While the entire country will benefit from the program, major focus will be placed on the 16 constituencies in the most affected parishes over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie says the program aims to remove debris, damaged household items, and other solid waste.
This is a program that goes deep within the communities where persons will have an opportunity to put out the couch that you never want to part company with. but you have to. All the things that were damaged and have no use.
Minister Mackenzie says churches will be formally included in the national cleanup effort.
And there will be an allocation that will be made to the churches across Jamaica to help in their cleanup exercise.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.